it dawned on me that I need to go ahead and open up the vault. You know what I mean? I need to bring y'all into the round table. I need to show y'all my strategy and my overall way I go about making my bets. So, you trying to 20x your money? Then let's get into this hustle game.
Hustle game, 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 hustle game.
What's good, Hustle Game community? We are back with our betting strategy and Underdog fantasy formula video so you guys and gals can understand how I come up with my over-unders. So first, let's go over our betting strategy. If you have watched any of my videos or shorts, you would realize that I only bet on rushing yards and receiving yards. I don't bet on touchdowns. I don't bet on like field goals made, receptions, interceptions. I don't bet on none of that. It's strictly rushing yards and receiving yards. I know what you're thinking. Why? Well, let me tell you why. We got 6 weeks worth of information on players. I look at 4 categories before I make any bet. And those categories go targets and rushing attempts, snap percent, yardage, and the defenses that a player is going against. Using these 4 categories can help you make way more than an educated guess on a player's over or under. Now, before we move on, I want to tell you about 2 factors that are not calculated into our betting strategy. First is injuries. Injuries are self-explanatory, okay? I mean, if your dude go out there and roll his ankle or get concussed in the first quarter and don't come back in the game, I mean, well, that's just what it is. The second factor is what we call a negative miracle. Let me give you an example of a negative miracle. Let's say you got a wide receiver, okay? And this wide receiver gets you 8 to 12 targets a game, okay? And this is on a 4 to 5 week span. He gives you 8 to 12 targets a game, okay? On average, he gives you 80 yards receiving, okay? His highest game was 120 receiving yards. His lowest was 60 receiving yards. Now, let's say his player prop is 50.5 receiving yards, okay? You pick the over, and he gets 12 targets for 25 yards. That is a negative miracle, okay? Let me give you another example. Let me give you a running back, okay? Let's say on a 4 to 5 week span, you got a running back that's getting 18 to 22, rushes a game, okay? And on average, he's giving you 80 rushing yards a game, okay? And his highest game was 120 rushing yards, and his lowest game was 60 rushing yards, okay? Let's say his player prop is 50.5 rushing yards, and you pick the over, and this player gets 25 rushes for 25 yards. It's a miracle he didn't get his yardage with his opportunity sharing snap percent. That's what we call a negative miracle. So, injuries and negative miracles are not factored into our betting strategy. And last but not least, we have our Underdog fantasy formula. The formula is simple. We are trying to find 5 players that exceed their yardage prop every week or at least 95% of the time. We already got 2 ingredients to the formula, okay? The first ingredient is Lamar Jackson rushing yard prop. Since week 2, he has gotten 119, 107, 73, 58, and 77 rushing yards. NBA Jam rules. He's on fire. And my second ingredient is David Njoku's receiving yard prop. Since week 3, David Njoku is getting 6 to 10 targets a game with receiving marks of 89, 73, 88, and 58 yards. He's on fire too. So all we need is 3 more ingredients. And I'm telling you, we are really going to hurt Underdog fantasy feelings. I'm telling you, I don't know when it's coming. I got a feeling it's going to be week 9, maybe week 10 or something. I'm going to come up with that formula. And I'm going to drop a video that day I come up with the formula. I mean, it's not really... It's just looking at stats. Like, you're just looking at targets. I rarely say reception, okay? I rarely say catches, receptions. I always say targets, because targets tell a story. If a person is getting a shitload of targets every game, then you can pretty much extrapolate that and come up with your own yardage you think this player is going to get on a week-to-week basis. So we went over our betting strategy. We went over our formula. Oh, yeah, we also got Recap Wednesdays. That video will be hitting us later tonight, or later this evening, or hopefully at least early in the morning Thursday. But we're going to go through all my Stone Cold locks, all my honorable mentions from week 6. We're going to check the hits. We're going to check the misses. We're going to investigate those misses. Was it a injury or a negative miracle? Or was it just me and I was just a dumbass? So like and subscribe, man. Hit the bell, man. Get this free money, man. So until next time, be safe, place your bets early, and let's get this money, man. It's your boy, Mr. Hustle Game, and I bet that.
Hey, it's 2022. I don't know what to do. It's 2022. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. Girls rocking black, boys rocking pink. Standing in quick.
Robert